Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Stock market, alert, alert, alert. Come on in, folks. JLR investigates. A lot of things are going on right now with the stock market, folks. I suggest pay very close attention. A lot of conversation, a lot of things seem to be happening. Futures are down 1,500 points. Crude oil is now under $60 a barrel. And people are saying that tomorrow might be what it is called Black Monday. Black Monday. And people are saying that could be possibly a major crash occurring tomorrow. The worst since 1987. Now, folks, come on in. I'm not an expert at this, but I just want to share with you the talk, right? The talk. I'm not a stockbroker. I cannot give you any financial advice whatsoever, but there's a lot of things going on with the stock market we are going to discuss because that seems like that is the number one topic going on, and the stock market affects everyone's day of life, your way of how you do things. The stock market, some people say that though that it doesn't really affect us. It only affects the top 10%. Come on in. Let's have a conversation. There is a lot of talk going on. You like the backdrop there? Stock market crash. Pay very close attention, especially till tomorrow. Trump has also spoke about this. He says he doesn't want stocks to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine. That is coming from Donald Trump. He actually tweeted out a little bit about what could happen tomorrow. Futures are definitely down right now, 1,500 points. As Trump tariff market collapse worsens. That's what they're talking about, folks. We're having a conversation about the stock market. Do you invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, 401k? Does this affect you whatsoever? The Dow Jones Industrial Average Future fell 1,531 points on Sunday, losing 4% of its value. This evening just happened. Pointing to another brutal session on Monday. Whoa, folks. Whoa. They're saying 1 year of gains have just been lost in just the last 45 days. Let's talk about the stock market, folks. Stock market discussion. Breaking news. Futures are down. What does that even mean? How's that even going to affect us? Is it going to affect us? Is it because of the tariffs? A lot of people are blaming the tariffs. A lot of people are saying it's because of these tariffs. It screws the economy up, the world economy, and the United States is about to face the brunt of it. Trump put out a tweet, folks, and I'm going to share what he had to say. He said something very, very interesting. This is what I'm sharing with all of you. I'm going to share a Trump on Truth. He was on Truth. We have massive financial deficits with China, the European Union, and many others. The only way this problem can be cured is with tariffs, which are now bringing tens of billions of dollars into the United States. They are already in effect and a beautiful thing to behold. The surplus with these countries has grown during the presidency of Sleepy Joe Biden. We are going to reverse it and reverse it quickly. Someday people will realize that tariffs for the United States of America are a very beautiful thing. That is coming from Trump. So the way I take that is as if prepare for some, short-term problems, but long-term this needs to be done. That's the way I see how he's trying to say. So he's like, we're going to have to deal with the situation now, but later on, you will be thanking him later, more or less. Trump says he doesn't want stocks to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine. Interesting. That's an interesting take. President Donald Trump said Sunday evening that he is not intentionally engineering the ongoing sell-off that is happening right now, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. He cited the trade deficit with China as his rationale for pressing on with tariffs plan despite the recent pain in the stock market. The comments came as U.S. stock futures dropped, pointing to big losses at Monday's opening. We're probably going to be back live tomorrow talking about it. And maybe we'll even get a little chart and graph and watch the market. Is this fear-mongering? Is this fear-mongering? No, I ask all of you, like, does this affect you? Do you guys care? Does anyone actually care? I'm not an expert on stocks. All I'm going by is what is being put out there, and I'm trying to, my head is spinning all over the place. That Kramer guy that's supposed to be the stock guru, he's trying to say that this could go down 20%. He's trying to say that this could go down 20%. A lot of people are saying a lot of things, folks. Some people are saying relax. This is all under control. This is by design. Again, they're saying that 10% of the elites out there control 90% of the stock market. But people like the middle class or the lower class, it doesn't affect them whatsoever. Does it affect you? Will it affect you? I do know that futures are down on oil. Oil barrels are down under 60, which means we are at the lowest since April of 2021. Hey, I love lower gas prices. Some of the gas experts are saying for the next couple days, expect a couple pennies drop for weeks each day. So a penny here, a penny there, a penny there. And in the next 2 weeks, we could have gas prices down 40 cents a gallon. Hey, I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with that. Remember when COVID happened and gas was like, it was like $1.75. It's like $1.75 just because the economy was bad. No one's going out. No one has the money to go out. President Trump said Sunday evening that he is not intentionally engineering the ongoing stock market sell-off, but said little to try and dissuade the situation. I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something, Trump said while he was aboard Air Force One Sunday night. He just spoke. That's why we came live. I think this is an interesting topic. It's a topic that needs to be discussed. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What happens if the stock market does tank? What really happens? Will that put pressure on Trump to stop the tariffs? Stop the tariffs? Is this a systematic global design to defy the Trump administration by purposely tanking the market to get these tariffs off? Is this all by design? Some people are like, let it crash, let it burn. Down, baby, down. Stock market. The comments came as U.S. stock futures dropped on Sunday evening, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average futures sliding 4.1%. It's a lot. If you want it down or not, 4.1% is that's a pretty significant slide in one day. They might need, hey, how's the solution here? Don't ring the opening bell and then nothing will crash. Don't ring. If you know that this is going to be designed by going down because everyone's purposely tanking it, hey, don't open up the bell tomorrow. They can suspend it, right? They can suspend it. Now, there was losses Thursday and Friday, indicating more selling is likely to hit Monday morning. I think we'll be back Monday morning to check the stocks. Check the stocks. He cited the trade deficit with Canada as his rationale for pressing on with his tariffs plan, despite the recent pain in the market. We have to solve our trade deficit with China, he says. We have $1 trillion trade deficit with China. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year we lose with China. And unless we solve that problem, I'm not going to make a deal. That's what he says. That's what he says with China. That's a big trade deficit, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. Stock market crash for people who are coming in. I think it's coming. I don't know. I think it's coming, but that's the talk of the town right now. They're like, pay attention tomorrow. Pay attention tomorrow. The big crash, the 1987 crash is coming tomorrow. The 1987 crash, the Black Monday, almost like Cyber Monday, Black Monday. They call it Black Monday. Black Monday, attention, Black Monday stock market shoppers, your stocks are going down. A lot of people might be losing money tomorrow. A lot of businesses might go under. You think businesses go under? He added, Trump said, I'm willing to deal with China. So he said he's willing to make a deal with China, but they have to solve their surplus. So what Trump is saying is basically China has this massive surplus at the expense of the United States, and he wants a fair, even playing field here. Is this what's going on because of China? Is this what's going on? The tariffs? Is this what's going on? He added that he's spoken with the European and Asian leaders over the weekend on the tariffs rolled out by his administration, which are expected to take effect in the next week. Uh-oh. What do we got, folks? What do you got? Uh-oh, somebody said in the chat the Tokyo Stock Exchange stopped because it dropped more than 8.3%. That's what I'm saying. These global markets. I'm looking on my screen here. I'm sure you guys are wondering what's going on too. Fox actually put a news report out on this matter. Kind of like this. Here, we'll play this real quick and we'll continue this conversation. For people that are just jumping in, it looks like the stock market will crash or is in the process of crashing. We're watching it before our eyes. Here's the latest Fox News report right here.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. We come back to you with some more breaking news as we continue to follow the futures market as it just opened about 56 minutes ago, and it is in deep red territory right now. We do want to showcase this to you already as U.S. equity futures already plunging, extending a slide that has wiped out nearly $6 trillion from the S&P 500 index in 2 days as the Trump administration dug in on a trade war economists warn that will tip the world's largest economy into a recession here. So we saw what happened after the Wednesday rollout of these tariffs announced Thursday, opening deep red and continuing to plunge. We saw the Dow Jones down more than 1,600 points. How does it fare then on Friday, the day after? Is there any type of comeback? Not at all. It goes deeper in the red, closing at more than 2,200 points in the red. Now we are seeing the early futures, an early indicator of just how the market might open tomorrow morning. Obviously, a lot can change from now until the opening bell, but this gives us a little bit of insight of where everything and really how investors are feeling, and they're not feeling very good right now. We want to show this to you from Kenny Polcari, a Fox Business analyst. He says the Wednesday tariff announcement, Thursday market closed on lows, not a good sign. Friday market closed on lows again, not a good sign. Now Monday morning futures are sliding lower again as the flush continues, all while 25 plus countries come to the table to negotiate. And we will see if there's any news coming from that as more countries consider these tariffs that are seems like ever evolving here. We do want to again showcase what we are looking at right now, and on your screen a lot of red. That is what we saw on Thursday and Friday, and these early futures numbers are showing it as the NASDAQ 100 futures are down about 5.4%. We have the S&P 500 futures down 3.84%. Again, if this holds, this is the worst 3-day period in the market since 1987, and that was a market crash. Worse than any 3-day COVID period there. So again, we're looking at numbers closely resembling 1987. And remember that was a market crash consideration. So we will wait and see more remarks, of course, from President Trump this week. What is going to be the latest on the tariff front? What are the other countries going to do? Are they going to tack on more? Will this trade war really continue, and the tariff war as well, all in the mix? And we'll be waiting to see for more updates as this future market really continues to grow into the overnight hours. We'll see what the market open looks like. But for right now, deep red continuing with a big market sell-off and shares of stocks of some of your favorite companies that are some big time discounts right now.
Buy, baby, buy. Maybe. Not giving any, I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm not giving any financial advice. I wouldn't listen to anyone at this point. I would just sit back and I don't know what to do. Do you mass sell, or do you buy? Stock market crash. They say it's possibly happening before our eyes right now. They said the last 3 days has been the worst since 1987. That's why we went live. This is a big, big deal, and it could be even a bigger deal tomorrow. Trump says he wants to make a deal with China. He has been speaking with the European Union and Asian leaders over the weekend. Something is happening, folks. Trump's comments echo those made by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who said on Sunday the administration will remain steadfast in its plans for reciprocal tariffs. Now, do you believe reciprocal tariffs? Do you believe if they impose the tariff, we're going to impose it back? Because over the years, they have a lot of tariffs, different countries on us, but we don't have the same on them. So the new administration comes in and says reciprocal tariffs. If you're going to put a tariff on us, we're going to put a tariff on you. You're going to put 10% on us, we're going to put 10% on you. 20% on us, 20% on you, and so on. What do you think? Trump shared a link to a video on his Truth Social which claimed the president was causing the markets to public on purpose as part of his broader economic plans. The comments by Trump. So people are talking, folks. People are talking about this stock market. Dow futures fell 1,500 points on Sunday as Trump tariff market collapse continues. It's still going on. This follows a market wipeout to end last week. The Dow posted back-to-back losses of more than 1,500 points for the first time ever, including a 2,231 point shellacking on Friday. The S&P 500 dropped 6% on Friday for its worst performance since the outbreak of the pandemic in March of 2020. The benchmark lost 10% in 2 days, pushing it to more than 17% below its February record. The NASDAQ Composite entered a bear market Friday, down 22% from its record. These numbers are staggering, folks. Investors did not receive the news over the weekend they were wishing for, that the Trump administration was having successful negotiations with countries to lower the rates, or at the very least was considered delaying the set of so-called reciprocal tariffs due to take effect April 9th. All right, so these reciprocal tariffs are supposed to take place April 9th. Today's the 6th, tomorrow's the 7th, Monday the 8th, Tuesday the 9th would be Wednesday. Reciprocal tariffs, Wednesday. So everything is crashing before these reciprocal tariffs take effect. Well, what would you do? Just say, we're going to rescind and see. My opinion is Trump already put himself in a corner here because he said he was going to do reciprocal tariffs. Now he sees the stock market starting to crash here. Is he going to be like, let it crash, let it burn, and we'll deal with it later? It's just a short-term problem, but long-term, when we get these reciprocal tariffs, the stock market will shoot back up. Will it shoot back up? Should we invest in Bitcoin? Trump said Sunday evening of the market sell-off, I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. So, yeah, that's very interesting, folks. Now, I want to share this clip here. Kramer, you know who Kramer is, talking about some crazy stuff here. Listen to Kramer here. Listen to what he has to say.
The president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession. But if President Trump stays intransigent and does nothing to ameliorate the damage that I saw these last 2 days, I'm not going to be constructive here. I will contain my anger, but only because I lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay. I was in cash for the crash. I know what this feels like. Oh, and if Europe moves against our fabulous tech companies next week, then I will be furious. That I promise you, because it should not happen.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think about Kramer? What do you think about Kramer here? What's happening here, folks? The U.S. stock market has now wiped out 1 year worth of gains in just 45 days. Now, somebody else put something in perspective. I want to play this clip here because I'm trying to get takes on different sides of the situation. Because if you take one side and believe one side, you might be fooling yourself. I think it's to just sit back and understand and just see all sides of this and kind of just be patient here. I wouldn't say just sell if you're involved in the market. But this person puts a very interesting take on the situation. Rich elites are flooding X with hourly complaints about the stock market dip, blaming the tariff war designed to get the middle class back up. Yet the top 10% own 93% of all stocks. Is that true? Is the top 10% own 93% of the stocks? That's what they're saying. Most Americans either have minimal market exposure or hold retirement accounts meant for the long haul. Unless you are selling now, America always rushes back and stronger. So who are these elites whining to? The hardworking Americans they long ignored? It's pathetic. Shame them all. Now that's an interesting perspective. Who are these elites? And this is what he had to say. I'm going to share this because this one is going viral on Twitter.
I don't even know where to begin. The fact that you got these ultra rich, arrogant snobs posting on X every hour on the hour. Oh, the market's down. Trump is destroying us. Well, but what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Bro, who are you talking to? Who owns equities out there? 10% of the population own like top tier, you know? And then what, another 10, 15 have their retirement funds in it? Unless you're cashing out right now, it's okay. Who are you talking to? You literally have lost all track and semblance of, I mean, you think your life is like everybody else's? There's people suffering, they're struggling, and you're sitting there complaining that your stocks are down. You got 5 houses, you got boats, you got multiple cars. You sound stupid. It's like sitting at a table. 10 people, 9 of them are just regular people struggling. And you're this rich idiot complaining that your NVIDIA stock is down, that you're about to get margin calls. The other 9 people don't care. Man, you're the moron at the table. The difference is now you're talking to millions of people. How stupid and arrogant are you?
What do you think? He's like, it's the elites. It's the elites that own 5 houses and 20 cars. Those are the ones that are complaining the most. It's not the average people like all of us that work our jobs, pay our taxes, live in a modest home, nice home, middle class. Some of you, I mean, I'm sure we have all types of people in the chat, and we welcome everybody in the chat. I want to get your perspective on this. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to tell you what to do or not. I'm just sharing with you that things are about to happen. Possibly. Maybe they don't happen. But the trends are showing that something's happened, and everyone is like fear-mongering all over the place. They're like, the stock market is crashing. The stock market is crashing. Like the red coats are coming. The red coats are coming. The red coats. The stock market. Everyone's like, holy crap. They're also talking about oil. Oil's down. Now, I don't care if we get cheap oil. I want cheap oil. I want cheap gas. Cheap gas makes boots on the ground better for me. I love traveling in the South because when you're in Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, the gas prices right now are like $2.50, $2.30. Hey, that's cool. I'm cool with that, right? Maybe I won't be able to do boots on the ground if everything crashes. If everything crashes, maybe we won't even have any money. I don't know. Do you invest in the stock market? So there's a lot of people talking about this stock market. They're saying Australia's stocks are plunging 6%. The Japanese exchange, the 225 falls more than 8.3. They're saying Germany's stock market right now, futures are down 5%. The U.S. futures are fluctuating between 3 and 6% right now. These are futures. These are futures. A lot of people are talking about these futures. What's going on in the future? What is going on? Somebody says if we just keep the stock market closed, it can't go down. I said that too, right? If we keep the stock market closed, it won't crash, right? Do you trust the president of the United States in working a deal out with these other countries with reciprocal tariffs? Do you believe reciprocal tariffs will work? Or do you think it will do damage to the economy?
Oil, that's also another read of some of these risk markets this morning with the future trade underway. It is a clear risk off and uncertainty and fears of recession, perhaps, with S&P 500 futures down more than 5%. Brent crude down more than 2.5% with the Saudis cutting their price of oil. That's also another recessionary fear of energy is trading off. We also have a read on FX that's been trading for the past few hours. We are at the lows of the evening when it comes to the dollar versus the yen. There is a clear bid into havens that extends to Treasury futures too. Now, as to where the roadmap goes for this market, we have these assets open, but in about 2 hours' time, we're going to get more liquidity injected into the market. Read.
I don't know what all that means. I'm just sharing what's being shared out there. It's pretty crazy. What are we going to do? What are we going to do here? Stock market crash? Is it happening? Is it happening or not? Let me know what you think in the chat. What should you do? Should you sell? Should you wait? Hold off? Hold up? Pump the brakes? Yep, Dow futures right now, 5.5%, 5.5% right now, Dow futures. So it went from 4 point something now to 5. It continues to go down. Bitcoin joins the declines too, they say. Bitcoin falling 5.6% to $78,736.93 for a Bitcoin. It did surge above 100,000, but it's fallen too. Bitcoin has really fallen, what, 25%? If it was over 100K, now it's down to 78. You're getting pretty close to a 25% drop. Yeah, what's going to happen here? Tariffs go into effect. More are coming. A universal tariff went into effect Saturday after Trump signed an executive order earlier in the week requiring a baseline tax for all imports. The announcement sparked an outcry from America's trading partners, allies, and foes alike, along with American businesses, investors, and consumers. Yes. On Wednesday, America will impose significantly higher reciprocal tariffs on nearly 90 countries that have the highest trade imbalances with the United States. Trump has also put in place tariffs on autos, steel, aluminum. He placed 25% tariffs on certain goods from Canada and Mexico. The Canadian one was, and the Mexico one was really a lot to deal with border security. And more tariffs could be on their way too, they say. I'm just reading what's being put out there. Again, I don't know if the truth to it or not. I'm putting that info out there. I'm putting the info out there. Let me know what you think about this pending stock market crash. Does it crash or does it not crash? That is the question. Other tariffs are on the way too. Tariffs on auto parts are set to go in effect no later than May 3rd. Auto parts. You know, my Printify for JLR merch, they were sending me some sort of crazy for JLR merch, right? Because, you know, a lot of people buy the JLR shirts. I'm not promoting, but if you want to get a JLR shirt, be part of the JLR team, appreciate that. But Printify was sending me a message, and they were like, due to the tariffs, we're monitoring the situation, as if they're going to pass it along to the consumer, like me, whatever, like that. If I don't know where it comes from. It must be coming from another country, but it might affect my merch. Maybe might affect my merch. I'll let Magnolia speak on that. Yeah, that's crazy. So Trump's also threatened tariffs on lumber, pharmaceuticals, copper, microchips, and other products. What about auto parts? I might have to get a muffler. Is my muffler going to go up? What about my battery, car battery, light window wiper? There's all this stuff going up. Lumber? Will lumber go up? Canadian lumber? Does that mean all building new homes will go up? Or even if you have a home that something happens because of a natural disaster like a fire, a hurricane, a tornado, there have been a lot of tornadoes. Lumber, it's going to cost more to build now because of this? I don't know. I'm not an economist. I don't think you are too. You might be, but we're just monitoring the situation. Might be just a short-term hiccup, but long-term, it just everything. What I'm thinking is possibly right, and the Trump's thinking is it's just, like he said, short-term losses, iron it out, get back to that even playing field, reciprocal tariffs back and forth. Then the markets will play it out, and America at the end will rise up and be the superpower of the world. Is that the thought here? Or is there some nefarious things going on? Is it retaliation? Because I'm thinking too, you know, as different countries colluding with other countries, and they're all coming up with this thing, maybe the globalists of the world are all coming together and they're all plotting. They're like, we're going to retaliate against America first, or nationalism America, and we're going to tank the market and teach them a lesson. Reciprocal. Because at the end of the day, you're messing with people's money. It's money. It's countries and money. You know, money. Money makes people go, you know, funny. Money makes people go funny. I want to think so. But we're just here with the popcorn, you know, seeing if the market will crash. I'm reading a lot of comments. I'm seeing a lot of my friends in the chat, JLR Army. Come on in. Does it crash or not? That is the question. We'll be back tomorrow for sure to see this. I think maybe when we'll go up to the New York Stock Exchange. I wonder if they will even, who's going to ring the bell? Who's going to ring the bell tomorrow? Who's ringing the bell? You know, they bring all these famous people when everything's going good in the economy, and they ring the bell in the morning. Ding, 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 ding. Who's going to ring the bell tomorrow? Who's going to be the person out there? Because everybody's going to be watching tomorrow. You know, when they ring the bell, they wave and they smile and everything like that. And the bell's going ding, 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 ding. And they're like, yay, and everyone's clapping. I don't think anyone's going to be clapping just for tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe overnight, all these futures might go back up. What happens if we get a wild card here and we wake up in the morning and the futures that are all down all go back up? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I have money in the bank. Should I be worried? Should I go to my bank tomorrow and say, I want to take out now? Take out, and should I get my money out of the bank and bury it under my mattress? Don't think you're going to rob me, because you won't go well if you come into my home. But should I just get the money, and should I get my money out of the bank right now? Should I go to the bank tomorrow and say, hey, I want to take out my money and hide it somewhere? I mean, what happens if the stock market does crash? And what happens to your money in the bank? I'm serious. I mean, can the bank just take it? I mean, will you lose your money? What would happen? I don't know. I don't know if I should go get my money and put it in a sock or a little cubby hole and bury it. I'm not going to tell you all how much money I have. I might not have a lot of money. You don't ever know. I might be just talking crap, and I might have zero balance in the bank, and I'm just fooling all of you. Who knows? But yeah, the banks, man. Will the banks start crashing? Everything starts crashing, a free-for-all. Everyone goes nuts. Prices go up. Inflation skyrockets. Everything, the cost of everything goes up. Is that going to happen? It's chaos. Could that be the chaos by design? What if money wasn't the number one priority in our lives? Interesting. I was listening to Kanye West speak at this one. I don't know where he was speaking, but he was speaking to somebody. He was like, I'm going to buy the earth. Or the earth. The earth is for sale. Let's just buy the earth. Who can buy the earth? Who? People have done some very crazy things over money. People have killed their own family members over money. Literally, insurance policies and money. People have done some very, very bad things over money. Is money the center of our existence? What happens if the money? What? Maybe we go back to the gold standard. Now I ask y'all. Everybody wants to know what's going on. They're calling it market mayhem. They're calling it market mayhem right now. Now I'm looking right now, and everyone on Twitter's like going like panicking. They're going crazy right now. Like a lot of people are tweeting, and then some people are saying it's no big deal. Let it crash. Some people are just like, they want to see it crash because they're like anarchists. They just say, I don't care about the economy. Let it crash. Let it crash. Some of the poorer people probably want to see the rich people lose all their money, right? Just like the healthcare industry with like Luigi Mangioni's out there, the supporters, they wanted to take out the whole healthcare industry. Well, there's some people out there that want to see it crash. There's people out there that want to see this thing crash and burn. We're here to cover it. Recession fear has crippled Wall Street in recent days. JP Morgan analysts said last week that the tariffs would hike taxes on Americans by $660 billion a year, the largest tax increase by a long shot in recent memory. Can someone explain to me how tariffs would trigger tax hikes? Can someone explain that? Can we get an economist in the house? How does tariffs hike up taxes? In our state, in Florida, I just heard the governor speak the last couple of days talking about they're going to eliminate property taxes for Floridians or significantly lower. So now I'm hearing here that taxes are going to go up. How? Are you a believer in property taxes? Are you a believer in taxes? Do you believe in consumption taxes? Do you believe in the IRS? Are you guys filing your taxes this year? What's up with that? Nobody's even talking about the IRS like that. Are they going to start auditing people and try to squeeze money out of people, or we don't have an IRS anymore? Do we have an IRS, or do we have an external revenue service? What do we have? The largest tax increase in memory is going to happen, they claim. JP Morgan claims the biggest tax increase in American history is going to happen because of these tariffs. It will cause prices to surge, too, adding 2% to the consumer price index, a measure of U.S. inflation that has struggled to come back down to earth in recent years. Well, you figure the last couple of years have been pretty bad with grocery prices. If Trump maintains, this is coming from CNN. I'm reading a CNN report. So whether you believe it or not, these media might have agendas of putting information out there. If Trump maintains the massive tariffs he announced Wednesday, his unprecedented trade policies will probably cause both the U.S. and global economies to fall into a recession in 2025. Then we've been hearing every year that this is going to be a recession. It's going to be a recession. Going to be a recession. JP Morgan analyst on Thursday raised the risk of a recession to 60%. So we have a 60%, according to JP Morgan. We have a 60% chance of a recession. That's more than 50, right? 60%. It's not 70. It's not 80. It's not 90. It's 60%. So they're saying it's more than likely that there's going to be a recession than less likely. 60%. It's not much, though. Not much. But do you think we're going to be into a recession? While Goldman Sachs last week raised its probability of a recession in the next 12 months to about 35%. So Goldman Sachs is like, there's a 3% chance of a recession, while JP Morgan's almost saying there's a 2/3% for a recession. And the S&P 500 It has fallen 17.4% since setting an all-time high on February 19th. And it is set to open Monday in bear market territory, the S&P 500. Investors do not appear to be calmed by the fact that Trump has been meeting with leaders of multiple countries, perhaps to strike deals that could lower the tariffs. What are we talking about, 30 countries? You got to work deals out with 30 countries by 9:30 tomorrow. Well, it's 12 hours. Come on, Trump. You can do it. You got 12 hours, Trump. You got 12 hours to work a deal out with all 30 countries. At least work on one with somebody. Maybe that will set the bar. But I think I think we're seeing some retaliation here. I think we possibly be seeing some manipulation in the market. I don't know. I'm just going by what's put out there. Trump is scheduled to hold a press conference with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu on Monday afternoon following a meeting that is set to include discussion on tariffs. So that's interesting. Tomorrow morning, the stock market's probably going to be opened up, and it's probably going to be at one of the lowest you've seen in a while. That's what they're predicting. And then that afternoon, tomorrow, Trump will be speaking with Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, about tariffs. Markets have tumbled because the tariffs could raise prices significantly for American business and consumers. That's because importers pay the tariffs, not the countries exporting the goods that Trump has been targeting. Importers pay the tariffs. Companies that import the goods typically pass along all or some of that cost to wholesalers, real retailers, and ultimately us, the consumer. I'll tell you what, I love coffee, and I know majority of the coffee is not made in the United States. And I know a lot of people are saying coffee prices is going to go up in retaliation because of the border and the migrants. Well, I'd rather have no migrants in the country, so I will take coffee going up. I'd rather not have illegals in the country and have a safe country, so I'll sacrifice coffee if I need to. Or maybe I'll grow my own. Or maybe I'll just cut down on coffee. Drink water. Water might be better for you anyway. Yeah, I mean, they're saying a lot of these products all around the country. Everything you got around you, everything. Your internet might be going up, man. You know, everything you got around you might be going up in prices. Everything, every single thing, like everything you do, except gas, because gas is going down. So how does that make sense? Can someone explain to me how that makes sense? While they say crude oil prices are like dipping, like $60 a barrel, right? Which will ultimately make gas prices cheaper. Then why does everything else go up while oil prices go down? Wouldn't the oil prices go up too? Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, I like drilling. I'm a proponent of energy independence. I am. I'm not too worried about the spotted moose. I'm not too worried about the chipmunks out there. You know, drill, baby, drill. Because you don't want to be depending on other countries for your gasoline, because they can hold it off and everything like that, and then we have to go to war with another country over the world. Let's have our own oil. Let's have our own drilling, and we don't even have to worry about the other countries. We don't even have to worry about the other countries. They want to say, oh, stop the drilling. It affects the spotted moose. It messes with the ecosystem and everything like that. Nah, I think everything will be fine. I do. All right, so we're talking about Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Friday and acknowledged that Trump's tariffs, which were significantly more aggressive than the central bank had expected, would drive prices higher and slow down the economy. Powell said the Fed wasn't in a rush to act, but was monitoring the effect tariffs have on the economy. Now, I remember in COVID and all the lockdowns, I can tell you what was good for me. Man, those airline prices were cheap. They were cheap. Everything was cheap. Hotels were cheap. Rental cars were cheap. Everything was cheap during COVID because I was zigzagging around. I was just starting YouTube a little bit, boots on the ground, going to locations. And I remember, like, I wouldn't take my own vehicle, and I'd go to, like, Tampa, and I would go to the rent-a-car place, and I would rent a car, and they were renting. You could literally rent an SUV for $15 a day. You could literally fly anywhere in this country for under $100 one way. Anywhere. Chicago, they were literally flying for like $30 one way to Chicago. Philadelphia, $50. I want to, hey, I'd like all the prices to go cheaper if no one's going to use it. Will that happen? But because I can't see how the airlines would keep those prices all the way up. If everything else goes up, nobody will go anywhere. Will everyone just stay home? Will everyone just stay home? Look at that. Stock market crash. Dow futures are, let me see an update here, but let me keep the conversation going because we're just talking about what's being put out there. Again, I'm not a financial expert. This is not a channel to get financial experts whatsoever. We're just sharing what's being put out there. Should we believe it or not believe it? That is the question. Everyone's saying that everything's going to go up in prices. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation said the average American household will pay $2,100 a year more for goods because of significant universal and reciprocal tariffs Trump announced on Wednesday. So, a nonpartisan tax foundation saying all of you out there is going to pay $2,100 a year more for goods because of these tariffs. You believe that? $2,100. Interesting. Well, people in a lot of communities raise taxes anyway, and sometimes you have to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 extra in taxes, property taxes. Fitch Ratings said the rate would even be higher, right? So we're talking about, it said America's average import tax will surge 19% this year from 2.5 last year, the highest rate since the Smoot-Hawley era in 1933. Fitch Ratings said that rate would rise even higher, sending Americans' effective tariff rate to its highest level in more than a century. As a result, Americans' after-tax incomes will decline 2.1 on average this year. Well, after tax, do we even have to pay taxes? Or do we even have an IRS? I'm kind of like a proponent of consumption tax, right? You tax what you buy. You don't buy, you don't get taxed. I like that. I wish they would come with that concept. But in Florida, they might be eliminating property taxes, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with no property taxes. The good news is that the stock plunge has created some buying opportunities for investors. Stocks are trading at a historically cheap 15 times future earnings projection now. That could help market rebound if investors believe stocks are oversold. So here's where the opportunists come into play too. They're like, let it crash. We will just buy. Buy, baby, buy. Like drill, baby, drill. Buy, baby, buy. Buy, baby, buy. We're going to close to the bottom. We're getting close to the bottom. The fact that stocks have dropped so significant in the last in these deep intraday moves is a clear sign and fear-based selling. When this happens, we tend to soon see significant rallies. What goes down must go up. If it all goes down. NerdWallet puts out this thing. What to do when the stock market is crashing? What should you do? A stock market crash is marked by a sudden drop in stock prices. You can prepare for a crash or a weather one by understanding when to hold and when to sell. Diversifying your portfolio and talking to an advisor. Talking to an advisor costs you money. So they're just basically saying, advice, what to do out there, what to do. Diversify, consider buying the dip. Think about second options. Focus on long term. What are we going to do? Stock market crashes in history. Now, they're referring tomorrow to 1987. That was one of the worst, they say. 1929, 1987, 2000, 2008, and 2020. In 1929, the stock market plunged in response to contracting economy and investor panic. It seems like that's what's going on right now, investor panic. Everyone is panicking right now. Somebody said buy toilet paper. Yeah, I bet you I'll go to the store tomorrow. Everyone's going to be buying up the shelves. That's what we should be doing like for the next couple of days. We should be driving around seeing who's buying what. Everyone's going to start hoarding things. Are we going to go into a toilet paper? Are we going to go into a toilet paper, napkins, paper towels, paper products? What's going to happen? Dude, some of those things. Florida anyway, whenever Florida gets a hurricane or hurricane's coming. Dude, they take everything off the store shelves. You can't even get toilet paper. You can't get Campbell's Foods. You can't get nothing. No meats, no nothing, man. And Floridians go ham when these hurricanes come. Probably within 2 days of a hurricane, everything is wiped out. Gas. Remember gas? Remember we were running around. We couldn't even get gas. I'm like, there's no gas. There's no gas. There's no gas. There's no gas. Nobody can get to the pumps. So, 1929, the market bottomed out in 1932, more than 80% below peak prices, and took over 2 decades to recover. Uh-oh. Do we have a 1929 crash coming where we're all gonna be 20 years later, older, and that's when it's gonna rebound? They're saying in 1987, the market plunged 25% in response to market decline, investor panic, and early computerized trading going wrong on a day known as Black Monday. That's what they're referring tomorrow as Black Monday. Do we have a Black Monday tomorrow, folks? However, the market recovered within 2 years, and the Securities and Exchange Commission implemented trading curbs and circuit breakers to prevent panic sell-offs. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen tomorrow with these circuit breakers and panic cutoffs and everything like that. So, I expect tomorrow if this thing, because let's be real, they probably manipulate the market. They know when to cut the switch to prevent the bleeding and everything like that. Pause. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I say if the futures are saying that it's going down, don't even open tomorrow. Don't even open. Why open? Why? But some people bet on the market to go down anyway. Don't even open tomorrow. If all this, everyone's panicking, don't open. You don't open, the market doesn't crash. Is it that easy to do? People are like, you must open. Must open for business. This is the Waffle House. You must open. You must open. No matter what type of storm is coming, you must remain open, like the post office people, right? The post office people. Rain, snow, sleet, hail. The United States Post Office is open for business, no matter what. Does that apply to the stock market Monday through Friday? Is it good to buy stocks? So then in 2000, there was a crash following the surge of investing and speculation in internet-related ventures during the 1990s. The dot-com bubble burst in March of 2000. That was right after the so-called Y2K, right? Everyone was talking about Y2K, Y2K, and everything's going to crash, and everything crashed. The S&P 500 dropped nearly 50% and took 7 years to recover. In 2000, are we shaping up that way too? 2008, in response to the housing bubble and subprime mortgage crisis. Yeah, that subprime mortgage was a scam, right? All these people had these adjustable rate mortgages. They didn't even know what type of mortgages they were getting. And then just in a couple of years after having a mortgage, it just went skyrocketing, their rates, and they couldn't even afford it or whatever like that. That was a scam. That was a scam. A lot of people got rich off that though, right? People got rich. Subprime mortgage crisis. The S&P 500 lost half its value and took 2 years to recover. In 2020, as COVID spread globally in February 2020, the market fell by over 30% in a little over a month. But by August 20th, the market already rebounded, taking 6 months to recover. So that seems like that probably would be more of the situation here. Just a major crash. But then within a few months, back up, stronger than ever. A lot of people thought we were all going to die at COVID. And here we are. Here we are. I'm here with all of you fine folks. Most of us didn't die on COVID. Sorry for people that did die. I'm sorry. A lot of people did get hurt during COVID and everything like that. To me, I feel like it was just a flu. Everyone feels differently about that. A lot of mixed feelings about COVID, but nevertheless, the market went down significantly, but then very quickly it rebounded. That scam to see if there's any scams going out there with this. People are saying in 3 sessions, the S&P 500 futures have plunged about 15%. That's a proper stock market crash. People are like, trust the process. Some people are saying the stock market needs to correct. Government spending needs to fall. Government jobs need to be eliminated. Trade needs to be equalized. Rates need to come down. Real estate needs to fall. This is the only way through. Think long term. The alternative was slavery. Now, that's an interesting perspective. This person's just like, everything needs to correct itself. Rates need to come down. Real estate needs, all prices need to come down. Government jobs need to be eliminated. That is the only way through. That seems like that's the position the Trump administration is taking. After the Great Depression, inspired by tariffs and a trade war, it took the stock market 22 years to recover. I'm reading people's intake. That's coming from Anthony Scaramucci. Anthony Scaramucci says, after the Great Depression, inspired by the tariffs and a trade war, it took the stock market 22 years to recover. And look at it. Not Jerome Powell says, Warren Buffett's about to buy the whole stock market tomorrow. Yeah, think of somebody coming in as the savior. Warren Buffett. Is Warren Buffett going to come in and buy the stock market tomorrow? Yeah, maybe we'll get one rich person. Elon Musk. Where's Elon Musk? Is Elon Musk going to buy the stock market tomorrow? Is somebody going to come in and buy the whole thing? Buy the whole big thing? A buffet market. Warren Buffett. I did a video at Warren Buffett's house, by the way, in Omaha. It's interesting. He lives in a little modest home surrounded by fence. Got a lot of cameras there. Breaking news. They're saying the China stock market opens down 10%. The China stock market has opened down 10%. The Japanese market's down 2.75%. A lot of people are talking about, they're saying the Chinese market, China's stock market down 10%. I don't know if you can see that here. China's stock market. We're talking about stock market crashes. What's happening, folks? What's happening? It's already 9:42, so we got 12 hours. Watch. We'll all go to bed tonight and we'll rebound, and they'll say tomorrow, like, everything's fine. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Let's scour the net and see a little bit more of what's going on. Stock market crash. Let me see what everyone's saying. Is this fear mongering or is this the real deal? That's what we're talking about. We're just talking about what's out there. Dow futures fall 900 points. Whoa. Now it's only 900 points. Thought it was 1,500 points. See what I'm saying? Look, when we started out on this live, they were like Dow futures were down 1,500 points, 5 points, something percent. Now it's down only 979 points, 2.5%. So that is interesting, right? Seems like it might be calming itself down a little bit just in the course of an hour being here on live. It's all a scam. Isn't it a scam? No? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. The tariff-induced market mayhem isn't over just yet. Are we going to get a 20%? Oh, the price of oil fell more than 3%. It is still below $60 a barrel for the first time since 2021. We talked about that. Oil prices have been in a free fall as investors fear tariffs could plunge the global economy into a recession. A lot of this we already talked about. I pretty much gave everything up to speed. We should come back tomorrow talking about this topic tomorrow. Should we come back on at like 9:30 and see something? Why don't we listen to the opening? Who's going to ring the bell tomorrow? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. We should know. We do have an indicator probably early in the morning, probably about 5, 6 in the morning. We'll probably share with us like what exactly is happening. It's pretty crazy stuff, folks. But we're on it on JLR Investigates. Is this a scam? Not a scam? What's going on? Should you be scared, panic, fear mongering? Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you invested in the stock market? What's your plans? What are you going to do when you have that Coca-Cola stock and all those different stocks out there? Are you going to sell? Are you going to sell Microsoft stock? What do you stock? Walmart stock? Do you think that Trump should stop the tariffs? Do you think that's the solution? If Trump stops the tariffs, then that means he was bullied into other countries bullying the United States, saying pretty much, you do what we want, otherwise we'll tank your economy. And if he complies, then what's the United States to the world? What's the United States to the world? Because then you'd be more or less the laughing stock and you can be pushed over. No, that's what they'll probably say. The countries will probably say, no, we're not. We don't believe in reciprocal tariffs, and, we'll corner you, isolate you, and your own people will turn on you when everyone's prices go up. Maybe that's the goal here, to get everyone to turn on the Trump administration. Because, again, you mess with people's money, people get mad. You devalue your money. Costs of things go up. People get really mad. People get upset. People start blaming, pointing fingers. Mess with money. Don't mess with my money. Just show me the money. This was a great conversation, right? We had a pretty good conversation this evening on this topic. Appreciate all of you coming in on JLR Investigates. Let me know what you think. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how it is, if it crashed or not. And we'll keep the conversation going. It's been real, folks. Let me know what you think. Again, not a financial investor, not an expert. I'm just sharing with you what is potentially going on. Might happen, might not. I don't know. But it was interesting. And I appreciate all you coming in, listening to my perspective of it. We cover true crime and breaking news 24/7, 365. We don't know what's going to happen. Popcorn ready. Coffee ready. Until next time, everyone, be safe. JLR Investigates. Thanks for watching. You guys be safe out there. Happy investing. Talk to you soon. Have a good night. See you later. Peace out.